You know, I'm Challenger, I have no life, and I'm Asian, so I probably can get rank 1. Previously on Dragon Balls in my mouth, and no, I'm not gay, we were at 350 LP. Then in the next game we play Majin Buu, and you guys are probably wondering like, Pets, why the fuck do you have a skin? And you know, chromas were on sale for IP, and I have like 30k, so you know, with all that access IP, I might as well get one of my favorite chromas. As you guys know, I do really love Majin Buu because he kind of looks like me, and it was only 2000 IP. Unfortunately, that sale's off, but yeah, you know me, I don't buy skins because I'm cheap, and also I don't really care for them too much, but that's for another video, which I already did. Anyways, in this game you can see that is the #1 jungler in NA, and it looks like he's not really having a good time. Now right here, this is actually an interesting setup. So y'all see Cassiopeia coming from the top lane, and she wants to go to the mid lane. We see that, so this is where you can set up a nice gank. And this is something that actually helps my jungling. See, I usually do my ganks on the fly, but this is actually a little bit more planned out and kind of waiting for the right opportunity to jump in. And so these type of ganks I actually don't look out for too much, but after kind of seeing and doing this, it actually helps me foresee future possible ganks, which I might want to work on a little bit more. Now, talking about the #1 ranked jungler, it kind of looks like he's getting shit on. Does that make him a bad player? No. He's actually a really good jungler in my eyes, and you know, I actually look up to him. I think he's a really good player. I mean, he got rank 1. But some people say he's a toxic guy, so I mean, I know what he does. He only jungles, and if someone wants to compete with him, he'll just double jungle. And he's known for doing that, so everyone doesn't like him because he does something like that. And he also just shit talks people who like kind of feed on his team. So a lot of people who watch streams notice this, and like, he's an asshole. Yeah, that's kind of true. But you know, to be honest, I don't fucking care if he's a toxic asshole or not. He has my respect because he can get rank 1, right? His playstyle, his mindset, it's all interesting to me. Like, I want to see how he plays, I want to see how he reacts to certain situations. It's interesting to see him flaming his teammates. It is kind of interesting what he does in Champion Select. He has said some autistic things in team chat, like not pertaining to the game, and just said some random shit that didn't really make sense. But again, I've done that kind of thing before, but there's no doubt about it, this guy has my respect because he can get rank 1. Yeah, he might be a little bit weird, fuck, I'm a little bit weird, but I don't really care. But in the end, it doesn't even matter, because he is still a good player. Although I did ask some of the other high elo junglers' opinion about this guy. Basically, it's kind of funny because he says he plays in a way that works for solo queue. Like, he plays so selfishly and only for himself. I mean, he still makes team calls obviously in the mid game and late game, but like, apparently what they say is he would just randomly go to a lane and tax them. And I've never seen this, of course. I've never seen him do this because I'm always either like in the jungle or support and I don't really notice it. But like, the only reason I can see this happening is like a failed gank he did and then he would tax it or some shit. In my own opinion, I've seen that he is a very aggressive player. He likes to do a lot of invading, contesting objectives a lot, like a blue buff in the mid game, not the early game. And apparently he just gets so fed that he can dive people under their tower in the early game. So yeah, his playstyle is apparently really good for solo queue. For competitive, like, it's important for junglers to give their other roles, you know, the money so they can carry, and the jungler's gold income isn't that high compared to, you know, your laners, so it makes sense why that's the meta in competitive. But I can see this kind of playstyle working in solo queue when you have the mindset that all your teammates are retards. I'm pretty sure that's how this guy thinks, which apparently actually works. But yeah, also I'll be playing support because there's a new goal I have, which is to not feed as much and to prevent any deaths and just playing super safe and trying new tactics. For instance, I already said this in another video, but one thing I would do is if I don't see the jungler on the map, I will play back. I don't know where he is, so if I play a little bit up front, there's a possibility of me dying. Like if Lee Sin comes and I'm overextended in the lane, is the answer, will I die, yes or no? And the answer is obviously yes, so I say, you know what, I'm gonna back off and play safe until I see him. Especially if my flash is down. If my flash is up, I might play a little, you know, up and just flash a CC that may come or something, but for the majority of the game, I just want to play safe and only aggressive if I see the enemy jungler on the top side of the map or, you know, in his jungle. But if I see him in his jungle, then I have about like 10 or 15 seconds before he might gank me when he goes off the map and off the ward that's in his jungle. So there's a certain time window before there's a possibility that he might appear in the bottom lane. Obviously, if he's in a top lane and then he goes, say, off the map, there's about 30 seconds before he's possibly in the bottom lane. You know, that's if he walks straight down into the bottom lane from the top lane through his jungle and not doing any camps. That's a possibility. So once that time window is up, I have to play passive. Between the time windows, I can play aggressive if I want to. I also have to keep track of the mid laner, see if I don't know where she is. There's a possibility of her ganking me, and we don't want that to happen, so yeah. Also, this is something I have to work on. If we're overextending and there's a ward in our back bush and we don't have like top TP or jungler pressure, there's a possibility of the top laner ganking bot lane. And yeah, you gotta think about all these possibilities that might kill you in the bot lane when you're in high elo, because that shit happens. That shit happens a lot. Some lanes you're shitting on and then all of a sudden, bam, like 5 people appear in your lane and you're dead. So once you constantly think of these things and, get your shit together, you'll eventually be ungankable. Alright, obviously not, you'll never be perfect, I'll never be perfect, but these are the little minor things that you can work on. Anyways, what's happening in this game? Well, let's analyze what's happening in this game. So basically, Renekton falls off, Hecarim falls off. I think Elise scales better than him. Unless we don't have a tank, then he scales better. But we do have an Aurelia, so, that scales better than Renekton. And Soraka, I think also scales better than Karma. I'm not 100% sure about that one, but Jinx definitely outscales everyone. And Cassiopeia and Karthus, Cassiopeia wins that match. So inevitably, we do scale better, and the only way we can fuck up this game is if we do some weird throw. Does this look like a throw to you? Yeah, a little bit, but thankfully, someone is playing Soraka, and no one dies. Also, going Moby Boots on Soraka is actually pretty good. I mean, fuck, it's actually really good with Ascension, so you should get that. Now, this team fight is a little awkward because Cassiopeia is dead and they want to force a Baron, and they have to turn on us, so it almost works turning on us, but doing a 4v5 with the Baron, I don't think it's ever a good idea. It is, you have to bait and then you have to turn, but it's really risky in my opinion. So even though I'm on the enemy team, it signals to me saying, don't ever do Baron if it's a 4v5. Always hide in the pit if you can, or, turn, of course. But turn in a proper way. Now, in the next game, I start roaming mid because the Nautilus was actually roaming mid, so I want to follow him, and I knew we could duel them 2v2, but my Varus didn't come. Hey, maybe we couldn't have dueled them 2v2, but Ezreal popped there first. And I knew Nautilus's Ignite was down, so I was like, you know what, let's follow him. And I bait them to my jungle. Unfortunately, Olaf gets picked off before we start, and he was actually 1 creep away from hitting level 6, and I think he would have actually killed them all, but really unfortunate, and then Varus fucks up his auto attack and get shit on. So this is actually a really hard game. And did I just bait my team into something bad? A little, but I think if Varus came along with me a little, it may have gone differently. Now right here, I'm playing the little bait game, and what could I have done differently to prevent my death? Maybe a flash when Nautilus uses R, so I can get into a better position to dodge the Ezreal ultimate, although I did not know that he was ulting because my screen was on the Nautilus. So yeah, I got bursted down, and also I exhausted the Nautilus because he was the only one in range, so maybe I could have flashed onto the Ezreal and exhausted him, but that's just kind of stupid, right? Either way, I kind of knew we could win this team fight. Even this team fight, I'm like, yeah, okay. Olaf goes for a call. The #1 ranked jungler. Again, he likes to be super aggressive, right? So I think it makes sense for Olaf to be super aggressive because he is an early game, mid game champ. Although we did lose the team fight and Yorick was dead, so I guess it wasn't the best call. And now I found this next call to be really interesting because what he does is he's like, let's fight at this blue buff, and I guess it's a good fight. And we actually get a Nautilus out of this. He's just trapped between my silence and Yorick's W, so it's impossible for him to get out. And would I have contested the blue? Maybe. Probably not, I'll be honest here. But that aggression is interesting because it did start a team fight that went way into our favor. So what does this teach me while playing support? It teaches me maybe I should be more aggressive for, little objectives around the map, even if it is a blue buff, to start something or just to even get some map control when my team is ahead. So right here we get the upper tower, and Varus overstays. It's not a good decision. We already have people back, and I don't know what he was trying to do, but it kind of baits our Yorick and it kind of baits me into going in, and there's like no reason to overstay because if we got some kills anyways, there would be basically no objectives we could get since our team isn't there, and also the enemies who died are respawning, so now we have to prepare for Baron. You see, one little fuck up can actually lead to a throw, and that's why you just have to play standardly. Otherwise, you can have a game that you had for free, and then all of a sudden you can have a game that goes to shit. So, learn when to back off and learn when to not overstay. So hopefully this is a good example for you guys watching out there. Now, the reason the enemy team backs off this tower is because they're being poked down by Varus and our Twisted Fate. So, ooh, that barrel hurt. So my team says, hey, you know what? It's a good idea to try and fight the enemy team since they're kind of chunked down, and that's what the Olaf and Twisted Fate are looking for. And yeah, you can see this enhanced Baron team is actually losing to our team fight solely because of Soraka. I mean, if I were like a Jan or something, I don't think we would have won this team fight as hard, but again, trying to keep those deaths at a minimum so we don't feed in team fights or anywhere else. Survivability on my Soraka and support is a #1 priority in my games now, and actually is a little bit more funner to play that way. No more last second heals, no more no more, you know, super tight situations, more safety situations, and going for the safe choice where I heal them when they're under 40% for that increased heal off my ultimate. No more, I think. But yeah, after that team fight, you can safely assume that this game is basically over. I mean, we did the Baron right after, and also, like, we started to go in their base because we were super strong, so yeah, not really much to talk about this game. Now, this dive right here, it's definitely doable, as enemies aren't level 6, but we kind of are. Well, just at least, but it still does count, and 4 of us are down here. Actually, you know what, I'll tell you why what actually happened, and why I feel bad about this game. Remember what I said earlier about last game, about using my ultimate safely and not being greedy? Let's just say I could have actually won this game if it were for me to use my ultimate or like do my job as a support. I'll show you guys like what happened. So in this play in the top lane, we dive 2v4 in the top lane, which is, you know, pretty good, right? And then I die because I cast my W and I didn't actually use my R, so guess what happens? Some of us die because I didn't use my R. And we do trade 2 for 2, when it should have been 0 for 2. The next fuck up is right here. So basically, I kind of want to use my star call on someone, but I'm way too far up in the front line without a front line, so I just get bursted, and I didn't even use my ultimate or flash out of the Hecarim E. So this is really bad, and basically this Swain, you can see this Swain is just, well, he's full hit point, and he's in the middle of everyone, so it's like, okay, he gets a bunch of kills, okay? Now, in this team fight, well, we're doing the Baron with the Yasuo down, and then they engage on me. Okay, so there's many mistakes here. First of all, I don't run to my teammates, I run off to the side so I can distract them. Second of all, I don't exhaust the Hecarim when he initially E's me, which is this Triforce proc plus his E burst, and my silence was a little shitty because it didn't root anyone. And so what happened? Yeah, you know what happens. This game is, not looking too hot. You know, on the plus side though, I did not die in the early game, so that's a good thing, right? But yeah, just some huge fuck ups actually coming from me. And yeah, I think if I pressed R in any of the given moments that I said, those 2 times where I didn't, this game would have definitely been different, and I probably could have won, to be honest. Also, Varus did need to get an Executioner's Calling because of Swain, but that's just a side thing, and who knows if we would have won, if he had got that item. Now again, I play Soraka. Okay, you guys are probably pretty bored right now, but the thing is, I don't skip games. Well, maybe I've skipped like 10 games in this series, but that's about it. And the reason I'm playing so much Soraka is because I needed redemption from my last game, and I knew there were some things I could improve on, so that's why you see me playing her again. Anyways, I was looking top to see if I could obviously that's why I got fucked. This one is just a face check into the bush, so whoops. I thought that enemy bot lane had backed because of certain things they did, but apparently they actually just set up for something in my bush. This next one is blocking for Jhin so he can use his ultimate, but did I really have to block here? The answer is no, because I think he just cancelled it, and also I didn't exhaust the Hecarim behind me because I didn't see him. Also, I actually could have lived throughout all this, but I did not use my refillable potion at the beginning of the team fight. This next one, I just wanted to ward this bush. Oh, shit, looks like I get caught out. This next one was try to help the teammate and, you know, help her to survive, but I get caught out, so I die. Now right here is a Gnar, and he is walking into a bush with a GP barrel. Then he gets nuked, and now he's basically gonna die. And then we have a Thresh as well here, and he can't get over the wall, so that's good. Although there's a Vel'Koz ultimate, but I do have my ultimate to counter his ultimate so he doesn't get any kills. And we ace them, and so basically I feed, but then I win. Don't you wish you had the luck that I did? Don't you just wish that? Don't you just wish you could get carried the challenger just like me? Well, unfortunately you can't do that because I am the only one who knows the true secret of how to get carried. You know what that is? Well, the honest answer is be consistent. Some games don't have to be consistent, like this game, but just be consistent, you'll actually gain some elo. Next game I play Zac and I get first blood. And then I get blobbed separately, but then what's this? A teleport on my blob? Oh, isn't that what I've always wanted? And I randomly appear right here, and we get second and third blood. Now right here, my Echo is being ganked, and happily, no one has CC'd him yet, so I get a triple knockup. But am I in a sticky situation? The answer is yes. You know, it was a really good E, but I just almost suicided and I flashed out, and we do get a kill. And then our top laner TP's in, so she gets a nice cleanup. And well, if you look at the score, it's not really looking too good for the enemy team. And yeah, you can see this game is kind of snowballing out of control. I mean, we have 16 kills and 7 deaths, and now it's going to be 17 kills and 7 deaths. But all of a sudden, the scores catch up, and wow. the enemy team is now 18 kills while we're at 22 kills, and the towers are actually kind of even. Initiate here even though Varus is down. Okay, it's kind of good because if we burst someone and then we kind of get out, then we should be good to go. But now after the pick on Vel'Koz, it actually turns out to be pretty good for us. So we want more since they're on the run, and we do get a Lee Sin out of it. After like all of these throws happening on my team, I say, you know what, I'm gonna take control. Let's do the Baron dance. Let's try and bait the enemy and initiate and not do Baron, you know, not touch it, just go in and initiate. And the thing is, we don't actually have to do the Baron. We can just, you know, just keep doing this until we get a nice lead and maybe some objectives. We can actually do the Baron once Lee Sin is dead, but if he's not dead, I don't want to go for a 50-50 smite. I want to go for a team fight if I can force it. And that's what I'm trying to constantly do. Also, I'm not really too confident here of getting my smite, and also my team wants to fight, so I'm like, you know what, let's fight. But in reality, the actual better call is to just do the Baron, because now after this team fight, we actually cannot do the Baron since Lee Sin is up, and I'm like, you know, let's just reset. So we do the same shit yet again. This time I catch out Vel'Koz, and we also do get an Ezreal, so, you know, 2 for 0. And now we say, hey, let's do the Baron even though Lee Sin is up, but I do have some people that try and kill him before he even gets in range. I mean, this Baron's not even dead, so this is actually a really good sign. And yeah, he does die and we get the Baron. And yeah, we scale better than the enemy team, so easy game. Next game, I play Skarner, and I'm doing decent a little. And I'm also maxing out Q first. Now this team fight is actually really intense, and I'm not going to even commentate on it. But you can see I'm maxing out Q in this game. The thing is, I should have gone like full glass cannon. I should have gone Cinderhulk because my team already has enough damage. Look, we have Akali, we have Malzahar. So, you know, I'm relatively squishy. But yeah, you can see, holy shit, this team fight would have been a double ace if he got hit one more time. So I think because this Lucian actually killed the Caitlyn at the end, I think it might have set a tone for this game. You know, that tone being winning until Lucian, he actually gets a little caught. I mean, he goes a little too ham and basically dies, but I do get the Riven because of Skirmisher Saber. Nice Thresh Lantern, by the way, which actually gets me out of a lot of danger. And now Akali is on their back line, so she gets to wreak a lot of havoc. And now off of this team fight, guess what happens? I wouldn't have done it, but the enemy team surrenders. Yes, they surrender. I was like, holy shit, really? They actually surrendered off that? Next game I play Blitzcrank because enemy team picks my Soraka, and I know the counter, which is going to be all in Blitzcrank. Now here's the thing, well, see, there's 2 people actually low, and we actually do get the Soraka. Now freeze for a second. What should we do here? Alright, so after these 2 kills, we're supposed to do the Baron, but we actually chased super hard because, honestly, I felt like I could have got a hook, but I guess we're too slow. But yeah, should not have chased, because now the enemy team bases, and yeah. Now one thing I wanted to do in my head when pulling Lissandra was that I wanted to get her off the Baron so she wouldn't interrupt them, but my team actually tries to burst her when I see Seer, but it also baits my team into trying to kill her. Obviously, there's like a little miscommunication, but yep, if we didn't go chasing down that whatever, we could have got a Baron for free, and basically this happens and we lose. This next game, yeah, so basically I went aggressive when I knew I could win in the trade, but guess what I forgot to do? I forgot to play passive when I don't know where the enemy jungler is, so this was actually my bad. Also, I should have flashed earlier, but I kind of wanted to tank a little bit more before I flashed away, but probably should have flashed away a little bit earlier. Would I have lived if I flashed a little bit earlier? I don't know, they both flashed on me, so it's hard to say. Now right here, I'm thinking, we should not be doing this. We should, where are you going? Keith, because there's like a lot of people in the mid lane, and you know, something like this might happen, so I did trust him, but now what I'm doing here is basically just distracting the enemy so he can get away. He didn't get away, by the way, so I guess I got a little baited. And here's another one where he wants to go in, which is not good because I don't have any mana. And he does see that Ezreal has no mana, so I guess that's why he wanted to go in. But I don't have any mana, so I can't go in. And yet again, there goes my 3rd death, and I'm trying not to die, but you know, I trust my AD carry. He's been playing this game for a while, right? But a little later on, my KD looks kind of nice, and yeah, we do some tower diving. Now this death, was it preventable? Yeah, it was, because I got Alistar comboed, well, just knocked up, but I don't know if we could have won this. It was either me or maybe our York who's super fed, but I think I would have definitely died if I just ditched him and went like top lane. But yeah, right here I try and I missed a stun on Graves, which would have been really good, but I see the enemy went all in, so I think it's time to pop my ultimate. I think Alistar made a bad decision by knocking us up when we had the ultimate on us, and also yeah, York is actually in the back line just screwing up the Syndra and basically locking people down. So yeah, interestingly enough, we kill 4 people and I get away. This lets us get Baron, and now we're sieging, but once I see Rengar ulti in, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try and stun someone, and our team comp is actually really good for dive. We have a lot of CC, a lot of dashes, a lot of, poke, and also my ultimate is awesome for tower diving if we can get some picks and burst people before they can retaliate. So yeah, this game's over, and we're actually back in Challenger. The thing is, it has to update every 24 hours, so it's not been updated, and yeah, okay, we're back where we fucking start. Okay, great. We have not done anything for the past 43 episodes or 45, whatever. Great. I have just wasted all of your guys' time. And yeah, let's see what happens to another 45 episodes and see where we're gonna be. So episode 90, be there, and maybe something special might happen. But yo, that's gonna be the end of this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. On the next episode of Dragon Balls in My Mouth, we actually face Boy and Wild Turtle. So yeah, make sure you watch that episode. And if you guys did like this video, make sure to leave a like. And if you didn't, make sure to subscribe. Anyways, I am Panzer Dragon, and I'll see you guys next time.